Jnanakosha, Puranas,
सर्गच्च प्रतिसर्गच्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Varaha Purana, installation of idols. Idol made of wood. Prithvi requested Lord Varaha to describe the proper methods of installing various types of idols. Lord Varaha replied that a devotee desirous of making a wooden idol must select the wood of Bassia latifolia for his purpose. The wood should be purified and then given shape as per the appearance of the deity. The idol is then installed in a temple amidst the performance of appropriate rituals. During installation ceremony, various articles like camphor, vermilion, sandalwood, incense are offered to the deity. The swastika mark is a sign of auspiciousness to the devotee must keep this in mind while giving shape to the idol. This swastika mark must be carved out on the idol. Similarly, other signs of Lord Vishnu like Srivasa and Kaustubha should also be carved out on the idol. Lord Vishnu is then invoked and requested to dwell within that idol by chanting mantras. After the deity has been invoked, the wood no longer remains a lifeless structure, but it becomes the embodiment of the deity. The idol is then considered to be fit for worship. While worshipping, a devotee should offer a bhoga of kheer to the deity. Burning a ghee or sesame oil lamp in front of the deity is considered good. The devotee should then circumambulate around the temple premises. While circumambulating, he should keep on chanting the sacred mantra Om Namo Narayanaya. The idol thus installed should be worshipped daily without failure. Stone idol. A proficient sculptor should be chosen to carve out the deity's shape from a pure and spotless stone. First of all the sculptors should clearly draw the outline of deity's appearance on the stone with a marker and then carefully carve it out from the stone. The idol is then purified by sprinkling akshat on the deity idol. While worshipping, a devotee should burn a ghee lamp and invoke Lord Vishnu to dwell in that idol by chanting the sacred mantra Om Namo Narayanaya. The installation of idol being complete, he should observe a fast for the whole night. Next morning, after finishing his daily course, he should put on white clothes and change his old yagyopavit with a new one. The idol thus made is considered fit to be worshipped. Purva Bhadrapada is considered to be the best time for the installation of a stone idol. During the course of installation ceremony, a devotee should live either on milk or cereal like barley. The rituals of worship consist of numerous activities like lighting 4 lamps in front of the deity, keeping 4 small pots each filled up with articles like panchagavya, water, sandalwood and milk. The rituals of worship are considered to be incomplete without the chantings of Vedic mantras. Earthen and copper idols. A devotee should carefully make a beautiful earthen idol without any sign of crack. The most auspicious time for the installation of an earthen idol is said to be during Shravana Nakshatra. An invocation is made to the deity to dwell within the idol, after which ablutions of the idol is performed with the help of various articles like holy water, panchagavya, sandalwood. The rituals of worship are similar to that of wooden or stone idol. The best time for the installation of copper idol is said to be during Chitra Nakshatra. The idol should be installed facing north and should be purified with the help of holy water Panchagavya. Then the deity is invoked to dwell within the idol. The invocation is made by chanting sacred mantras. Now the idol is fit to be worshipped. The rituals are same as mentioned earlier. Bronze idol. The most auspicious time for the installation of bronze idol is said to be during Jyeshtha Nakshatra. The idol should be installed facing north. At the time of installation, the devotee must not forget to keep 4 small pots in front of the deity, each filled with articles like Panchagavya, water, sandalwood, and honey. The rituals of invocation as well as worship are same as mentioned for the installation of other idols. Silver and gold idols. The rituals for the installation of silver and gold idols are similar to that of copper or bronze idol. Prithvi requested Lord Varaha to reveal the name of deities whom a devotee can worship at home. Lord Vishnu replied, a devotee can worship any deity at home, but worship of 2 Shivalingas is prohibited. Similarly, a devotee should never worship 3 Shaligramas or 3 Durga idols or 2 Surya idols. A devotee should also never worship Shaligramas adding up to odd numbers of 3, 5, 7. But there is no harm in worshipping 1 Shaligram. A devotee must never worship broken or cracked idol because it does not bode well for the worshipper. A chakra mark on the Shaligrama is considered as very auspicious, and it can be worshipped even if the idol is broken or cracked. The virtues attained by worshipping 12 Shaligramas are similar to that of worshipping 12 crore Shivalingas. Partaking of Charnamrit that has been offered to Shaligrama absolves a man from all his sins. Anybody who either buys or sells a Shaligrama is certain to go to hell. Rituals pertaining to last rites. Pitra Yajna. Prithvi requested Lord Varaha to define the meaning of Pitra Yajna, rituals pertaining to last rite, and its significance. Lord Varaha replied, saying, Nimi was the first person to perform the rituals of Pitra Yajna after the death of his son, Atreya. Sage Atreya is famous for his penance which he did for 10,000 years. When Atreya died, his father Nimi was filled with grief. Nimi tried his best to overcome his sorrow, but to no avail. He mourned his son's death for 3 consecutive nights. He thought that perhaps the performance of Shraddha rituals would be the best means to get rid of his sorrow. So he decided to perform the Shraddha rituals on the 12th day of Magha. On that day he invited many Brahmins and fed them with the same delicacies which Atreya would have liked to eat. He performed all the rituals well within a day, which would otherwise have taken a week to perform. He also performed the rituals of Pindadana by donating cereals, vegetables and fruit. While performing the rituals of Pindadana, he took some kusha grass in his hand and after pointing it towards south chanted Atreya's name and Gotra. In the night, Nimi sat on the seat of deer skin underneath which kusha grass had been spread. He then tried to concentrate on the tip of the nose. But in spite of all his efforts, there was no sign of mental peace he was so desperately seeking, and thought of his dead son continued to torment him. Nimi was troubled by a guilt that perhaps he had set a bad precedent by performing the rituals of Pindadana, because nobody in the past had ever performed the rituals. He was worried as to what would the coming generation think of him. He was so much troubled by the thought that he would not sleep for the whole night. Next morning he got up, still worried. He remained in a disturbed state of mind for many days. At last, when it became too much for him to handle, he decided to end his life. In the meantime, sage Narada arrived there and assured him that there was nothing to be worried about, as whatever he had done was most appropriate. Narada also convinced him that even his Nimi's dead father would vouch for this fact. Nimi remembered his father who had died long ago. His father revealed to him that the rituals which he had performed were in fact the rituals of Pitra Yajna. Describing the importance of Pitra Yajna, Nemi's father told him the name Pitra Yajna was given by none other than Lord Brahma himself, who was the first one to perform the rituals. Later on, Lord Brahma had described the rituals to Narada, and this is why Narada was convinced that you had committed no wrong. Nemi's father then described as to what should be done with regard to the person who lay dying. When the death approaches, a person loses his consciousness and becomes extremely fearful. At that time, a Brahmin should constantly study the scriptures so that he could die in peace. Donating a cow helps to pacify the soul of a dead person. If sacred mantras are whispered in the ears of a dying person, he dies peacefully. When the death seems imminent, a morsel of madhupark, mixture of curd, water, honey, and clarified butter, should be kept in the mouth of dying person. While doing this, one should pray to the Almighty to liberate the dead man's soul. The dead body should then be carried and kept under a tree where it is purified by smearing ghee, oil, perfume. It is then carried to cremation ground and kept at the bank of a river, feet pointing towards south. After this, the dead body should be bathed by remembering all the sacred places of pilgrimage. It should then be kept on the pyre, feet pointing south. The pyre should be lit and the following prayer should be said: O Agni Deva, I pray to you to burn all the sins committed by this person so that he attains to heaven. Now circumambulating around the pyre is made and the pyre is lit towards the head side. After consigning the dead body to flames, the rituals of Tarpan and Pindadan are performed. All the people assembled there should purify themselves before returning home. The period starting from the time the dead body is consigned to flame till the next 10 days is called Aucha. It is applicable to all the relatives coming from the same gotra of the deceased. Ashaucha and Pindakalpa. Asaucha means impurity, so it is the period during which the son of the deceased is considered to be impure. The period begins from the day on which the death has occurred and continues for the following 10 days. Varaha Pindadana means offering certain kind of food to the deceased in the belief that it would satiate his soul. Lord Varaha, while describing about the rituals which are supposed to be performed during the period of Asaucha and also the rituals of making Pindadana, told Prithvi, the observer of Shraddha rituals, should take his bath in a river on the third day from the day on which death has occurred. After taking his bath, he should offer 3 pindas as well as 3 palmful of water into the river in the name of deceased. On the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th days, he should make offerings of 1 pinda and 1 palmful of water in the name of the deceased. He should never make offerings of the pindas at the same place. On the contrary, he should select different spots for this purpose. On the 10th day, he should get his hair tonsured and change his clothes. His relatives, same gotra, should take their bath after applying an ointment prepared from sesame seeds, amla and oil on their bodies. Ekodishta Shraddha is performed on the 11th day. For this ritual to be performed, the concerned person should first purify himself and then offer pinda to the deceased person as well as other mains. The rituals of Ekodishta Shraddha are same for all the 4 castes. The Brahmins should be invited and fed on the 13th day. While feeding the Brahmins, a religious oath, sankalpa, is taken in the name of the deceased person. For the purpose of offering pinda, an altar should be made at river bank or any other suitable place. The rituals can be performed either facing south or east. Offering 64 pindas is considered to be idle. Pindadana can also be made under a peepal tree, but the place should be well protected from the reach of animals like dogs, cows, and pigs. It is believed that if these animals visit the place where Pindadan is being made, then it becomes difficult for the soul to attain liberation. The rituals of Pindadan should be performed at a pure place, otherwise, there is a fear of soul going to hell. The name and the gotra of the deceased person should be pronounced while performing the rituals. After the rituals are complete, all the assembled persons may sit down to have their meal. Donating things like an umbrella, clothes, cereals, ornaments to the Brahmins are believed to be auspicious. The flawed Shraddha and its prevention. Prithvi requested Lord Varaha to describe about the mistakes committed during Shraddha rituals and how they should be prevented. Lord Varaha replied, "It is a grave sin to partake of a meal meant for the soul of the deceased person. Anybody who has committed this sin should atone for his sin by observing a fast for full day and a night. He also has to perform many other rituals like taking bath in a river flowing eastward, performing tarpan, making offerings of a sesame seed into the fire, Shantipat, Mangalpat, partaking of Panchagavya, a mixture of cow's milk, cow's urine, cow dung, curd and clarified butter, or Madhupark is also believed to purify such a person. Similarly, showing disrespect to the invited Brahmins is also considered to be a grave sin. Donating articles to unworthy Brahmins is also considered to be an inappropriate act. The performer of Shraddha should refrain from all these acts. Preparation of Madhupark. While describing the method of preparing Madhupak, Lord Varaha told Prithvi, "Madhupak manifested from the right half of my body at the time when the process of creation began. This is the reason why it is so pure. Anybody who makes offering of Madhupak in the course of my worship attains to my abode." For the preparation of Madhupak, honey, curd, and ghee are mixed in equal proportion. While preparing it, sacred mantras in my praise should be constantly chanted. Giving some Madhupak to a dying man liberates his soul.